and welcome to another vlog. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. This week's theme is gene therapy. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about why gene therapy is important to me. I'd like to talk about the history of gene therapy, and I'd like to talk about a recent breakthrough in gene editing. So gene therapy is essentially a medical procedure in which they edit human DNA to help treat a variety of genetic conditions. Now, right now, there's no clinically available treatments using gene therapy, but there's a lot of research going into the field, and it is likely that there's going to be some treatments available within the next few years. So, gene therapy is particularly important to me because it could be used to treat Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is the genetic condition that I live with. The fact is, we're closer than we've ever been to finding a cure for conditions like muscular dystrophy, and a lot of that is thanks to the breakthroughs in gene therapy that have happened within the last few years. Me personally, I'm optimistic because I think that they will find a cure for conditions like muscular dystrophy within the next 10 years. Now, obviously, that prediction could be wrong, but that is what I believe, and I hope it is true. So, now let's talk a little bit about the history of gene therapy. So, gene editing was first proposed in the early 1970s as a way to treat hereditary conditions. Fast forward to 1983, and a team at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas, performed experiments on gene editing as a way to treat Lesch-Nyhan disease. Now, they didn't actually develop a treatment for the condition, they were just experimenting on gene editing. Then, on September 14th, 1990, a 4-year-old girl with something called adenosine deaminase deficiency, also known as ADA deficiency, was the first person who was treated for a genetic disorder using gene therapy. And that procedure took place at the National Institute of Health's Clinical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. That same year, the National Institute of Health launched the Human Genome Project, which you may have heard of. Essentially, that was a project that was intended to decode the entire human genome to help further our understanding of genetics and to help develop treatments for genetic disorders. And that study was not only successful, the project also concluded in April 2003. The next year, in 1991, after the Human Genome Project was launched, the United States government started funding the field of genetic research. And since then, many countries have followed suit. Today, gene therapy is a very promising field of medicine. A lot of research is being done into it, and a lot of treatments are currently under development for a wide range of genetic and hereditary conditions, including Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So this is a really exciting time in medicine because we're at a point where we could soon be saying goodbye to some very serious genetic conditions. And I think that's a very good thing. I think that's something that we should be happy about. Now, obviously, there are some risks to gene therapy, but a lot of work is being done to help eliminate those risks as much as possible and to ensure that gene therapy is as effective and as safe as it possibly can be. And I think that's something that we're going to be able to do. So now I want to talk a little bit about a recent breakthrough in gene editing. There was a news story that came out a few weeks ago in which they said that they were able to reverse the effects of Duchenne muscular dystrophy in dogs using CRISPR. Now, you may remember I talked about CRISPR in a previous video, which I'll include a link to in the iCard above for you to check out. So CRISPR is essentially a gene editing technology that allows them to cut out a mutated segment of DNA and then replace it with a healthy segment of DNA. And that's being proposed to be a treatment method for a wide range of genetic conditions. And Duchenne muscular dystrophy is one of the most common ones. So using this technology, they were able to reverse the effects of Duchenne muscular dystrophy in dogs, and the dogs were able to start producing enough of the dystrophin protein to stop the effects of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So that's pretty exciting because, again, that means that we're closer than we've ever been to treating this condition, and the technology could soon be ready for use in humans once it's determined that it is safe and effective for use in humans. Now, of course, just because the technology works in dogs doesn't mean that the results are going to translate directly to humans, because the fact is, dogs aren't humans. But that doesn't mean that the results of this experiment are any less significant. And me personally, I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm sure many of you will agree. So I thought that was really exciting because as someone who lives with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, this just gives me some more hope that there will be a cure very soon. So I'm going to include a link to that article in the description down below, which I encourage you to check out. And then on Thursday, I'll be releasing a video in which I talk more about what gene therapy is, how it works, and why it's important. So subscribe if you want to see that video. If you enjoyed today's vlog and you want to see more videos like this one, then please support me on Patreon. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you on Thursday.